Ooh, what's going on, everybody out there in YouTube world, YouTube land? I am Real Estate Jay, and welcome to another episode of the Coffee Talk, baby. We back here. I'm actually drinking some tea today, so shout out to EOS Cafe in St. Clair Shores. Great place, right here in front of the water. Literally, I'm looking at some great real estate, and if you know me, I love looking at houses. So shout out to EOS Cafe. I give them 5 cups, 5 stars, whatever you want to say it. Great place if you out here in Michigan. All right, man. Let's just get into these topics real quick. And I just want to start it off with just a quick nugget that's very, very important, right? Multiple streams of income. I mean, come on, man. This is not a secret. This is nothing new. Multiple streams of income is super, super important. Definitely with everybody saying inflation is high, this and that, you have to have more ways to make a dollar, all right? For example, I'm in real estate. I stay in real estate. So what I do is I'm an investor, I'm an agent, I flip properties, and I'm also a landlord. I'm all in one industry. I just created more rooms in the house. See if you can do the same thing in whatever industry that you want to get into. Start off slow, but try to develop one stream extra right now. It's very, very important when things happen in life and you need more money. You don't want to just depend on one stream of income, which is your 9 to 5, all right? Always look out for yourself, right? Protect yourself at all times, financially as well, all right? Let's get into the next topic. All right, let's get into the next topic, right? Keke Palmer. All right, Keke Palmer filed for sole custody. She's put a restraining order on her boyfriend, Darius Jackson. Now, y'all know Keke Palmer has been in the news because she wore the outfit and then the boyfriend came out and all this stuff, right? But now it's really become a real problem where he has been hitting on her. And so that's the new thing, right? And so I had a different perspective on this. Some may have liked it, some may have not on my Cold Summer Podcast Live, which y'all need to be tuning into. And I said this, listen, we know people like this in a lot of situations, right? I know people like this that deal in these situations. And this does not just happen one time. What happens is when the woman's done with it, she wants to now expose the man for everything, but she's dealt with this for 2 years. So just like you dealt with it, you also handle your situations, right? So I know it's not good, but it's also still photos that were shown on X or Twitter of him like putting his hands on her, but they're still photos. I know, and you know, that there's 3 sides to a story. There's his side, there's her side, and then there's the truth, all right? I don't know the truth yet, but at the same time, I know that these two have been dealing with this. She's been okay with this, and so she needs to deal with this. Maybe not the best response you want, but I also think she's also doing a lot of this for attention, but she has to handle her situation. You decided to be with this man and decided to have a child with him. So now you deal with the situations like anybody else has to. I don't condone domestic violence by any means, but it just seems like a public publicity play again. But that's Keke Palmer, right? Take care of your business, take care of your stuff, all right? Now, comment below how you feel. I'm just saying, we know people like this in everyday life, you know what I'm saying? And what do y'all tell them? Y'all tell them leave the situation and they don't leave, which means they enjoy what they're getting, all right? Let's talk about young Jeezy. My man Jeezy has gotten an interview with Nia Long, and I gotta say this before we get into it, right? This was a great interview, right? And I really want to break this interview down a little bit more. One thing that I've seen in this interview that I see is, okay, first of all, Jeezy's already made the music, but he's grown up, right? So the music is already out there. Too bad it's a bad influence. But the interview was great. It shows how mature he is, how he really talks about life and love and all these type of things. So I encourage y'all to go look at it. He also talks about his divorce, which I think, in my opinion, that Jeannie Ma was just unruly. I just think the lady was unruly, man. I think he wanted to make it work. I don't think it had a lot to do with the whole differences that everybody wants to make it about black and Asian. I just think they just didn't work out, man. And so he made a comment in there that he said something about going back to the sisters, and all of a sudden, the black women like, oh no, we don't want you no more, and they trying to down him. But listen, man, he can like who he wants to. Y'all gotta stop Xing people out because they date outside their race. You know, he can like who he likes. Leave the man alone, all right? So let Jeezy come back home. Let him come back home and love who he want to love, because y'all still love his music, all right? Let's get to the next one. All right, cool. So Keith Lee. All right, so Keith Lee. Shout out to Keith Lee, man. Made a really good debate over the last 2 weeks. He made a review on the Real Milk and Honey. And what ended up happening was just a lot of people were saying he did a bad thing. He made a bad review. And they were so upset. And I don't agree with it at all. I think Keith Lee did the right thing. I think we just live in a soft, coddled society where we can't hear the truth anymore. We want everybody to be nice, and that's just not realistic. So Keith Lee made a real review, and he said, hey, this was not a good place. They had bad service, and it's the truth. And I think it opened up a great conversation. So Keith Lee, I appreciate you, and we need to talk about him, right? And whether it's a black-owned business or whether it's a Chinese-owned business, let's give an honest review. And here's where I'm gonna go with this. I don't care if it's a black-owned business. It needs to have good service. Like, I'm not gonna spend my money somewhere where I'm not getting a good customer experience. I'm not just gonna look out for them just because it's my people. No, I'm gonna hold them to a higher standard, actually. I'm just saying. And then the lesson in this is, if someone gives you a review, they give you their opinion, you value it, and then you can look into it. You don't just bash someone because they gave you a bad review and they're suffering as far as business. Whatever, man. I don't want to go. It's being honest. Let's be real nowadays, all right? Kandi Burruss. All right, okay. So this is exactly why I say Keith Lee is essential, because you see what he's done here. If you haven't seen this video, check it out. Kandi Burruss goes on. She doesn't take any criticism to what he said in his review. Number one, they said it was going to take about an hour and a half for his family to be seated, and all of a sudden, he walks in and he gets seated in 5 minutes. They said they don't do carryouts on the weekend because she doesn't want to overwhelm the kitchen. If that's the case, that's a good thing. That means you're making money. That means you should be hiring more people. So this is exactly why I think Keith Lee is essential. We need to know these things. And you know what else? Companies need to start listening to what he's saying. If he has all these millions of followers, you should start to see what the customers are saying, how the customers feel. That's why you're in business. And so Keith Lee made a review. And guess what? First of all, what's going on in Atlanta? Like, this is the second Atlanta restaurant where y'all have an issue with DoorDash. Like, y'all say order on DoorDash, they go on DoorDash and they can't order it. What's going on? And y'all got carry-out issues? Like, do y'all want to be in business? So listen, it's essential for Keith Lee to be out here telling y'all about y'all business. If I'm an owner and I'm running my business, I would like to know what people really think about it. So Keith Lee, keep doing your thing. I appreciate him. And guess what? Another black-owned business. So we're not about to cater to you. We got to make sure you are held accountable just like every other business is, like he says. All right. So that's a wrap up for Coffee Talk. So the lessons here is this, right? Number one, yes, multiple streams of income, keep the money coming in, always protect yourself financially, all right? And the next things are with the Keke Palmer situation, listen, keep your hands to yourself. Nobody should be touching anybody. And the first time it ever happens, you gotta leave. Because if you stay around, that means you enjoy the love that you're getting. And no one else can help you but yourself, all right? And with the Keith Lee situation, when he's doing reviews of your restaurant, you should listen to what he's saying, and there shouldn't be no special treatment for him. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. All right? So there's a lesson there. Take some criticism. With the first time it happens in a relationship where it's domestic violence, you leave, and multiple streams of income. Keep the money coming in. That's it, man. That's all I gotta say. And like I say, after every video, that this is chess, not checkers. And I'm gonna see y'all at work.